Welcome back to Life is the End.
No. 3 words. More like life is madness.
Fine, life is final.
For years that our culture of sin and entitlement would lead to God striking us down. And I'm the one trapped in this fucking radio station. Somebody give me the hell out of here now.
Dude, you have to remember the rules of broadcasting. No swearing.
I'm guessing he doesn't
he's about
care.
to die. I don't think he gives a fuck.
New message, guys. We got a message from Nathan, of all people.
Max, it's Nathan. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I didn't want to hurt Kate or Rachel or
This is hilarious. Everyone but Chloe has a moment of realizing when they've been a piece of crap and actually apologize.
That being said, Jova, I'm not entirely sold on this one in particular. Like, to be honest.
Okay, granted, to be fair, this is happening because Nathan realizes that Jefferson is coming after him. So it's kind of like one of those confessions that people give when they know they're about to die.
Yeah.
But all the same, I just find it hilarious, though, that, well, okay, the game tries to do something with Chloe, but hers is quite possibly the one that I buy the least out of all this.
Sure, let me put it this way. Yes, like we've already established that Jefferson manipulated him and all that stuff. Okay, we get that. Here's the thing, though. He's saying, "Oh, I didn't mean to hurt anybody." Okay, no, I'm sorry. I don't give a rat's ass if you've been manipulated by Nathan. Jefferson didn't tell you to kill Chloe in that bathroom. You did that because you were pissed off and you just wanted to. You just didn't want her to bug you. I'm sorry. I'm not
by Chloe definitely dousing fires onto the flames, but no, that was definitely his.
Yeah, I mean, Jefferson may have been the manipulator, but Nathan wasn't exactly a saint himself.
Also going around threatening students and like using his family as leverage.
Yeah.
He is still terrible. Again, though, like Shuri pointed out, the difference is like, well, the game actually acknowledges that he was terrible and definitely needed something changing. Again, with Chloe, not so
there you
much,
go.
which is what makes it frustrating.
See, notice how the game just auto-saved? So keep in mind, just 30 seconds ago, the game auto-saved when I entered the car, and it auto-saved again. Why not just wait till this point to auto-save? Like, it auto-saved in like 15 seconds in between. It's weird.
Maybe because the cutscene was kind of lengthy, so it didn't want you to like be thrown all the way back to.
I guess.
That might be the case.
Because I'm guessing here's a point where you can screw up from like.
No. You can't. I mean, I guess if your console/computer turns off for whatever reason, maybe. But okay. Anyway, we saved that guy.
You can't screw up the story here.
No, Shiroi. In this particular bit, you can't really see. There you go. See, even if something falls on you, Shiroi, the game just goes black and white and asks you to rewind. So you can't actually die, you know. So it's not like you can't actually screw up here.
Let's just help this guy again.
Okay, basically, I rewinded too much, but fortunately, you can skip scenes that you've already gone through. So cool. Basically, you're supposed to let that thing fall and then go over it. There you go.
To Max's credit, she does.
Hold on, Jova. What the fuck are you doing, you moron? Remember, this is the guy that has those photos that Max says that they're uber pro. What the fuck are you doing taking photos of the fucking apocalypse? Get the fuck to safety, you moron!
One more picture. Get the hell out of here! Max, there's no way I can pass up these images. Just look at it.
You are an idiot.
Hey, you insist.
Or he's just insane. Holy cow.
You do know things.
Oh, never mind. No, he admitted he's.
You know,
an idiot.
and yet somehow him admitting it doesn't change the fact that he's an idiot. Like, it's just like, I don't know. It just feels like, I don't know.
Stupid is as stupid does.
I guess. Alright, moving on.
I mean, I get maybe he really thought that this would be a great time to capture an amazing photograph, and sure, it might be an amazing photograph, but it would come probably at the cost of your life. In fact, it did come at the cost of your life in a different timeline.
So, Max, let me ask you. Is Chloe worth all this shit? Is she?
Okay.
Think about it, Max. Is she?
Okay, to be fair, Pedro, we haven't come to that plot revelation yet. Oh, hey,
Oh,
Alyssa.
Alyssa needs help again. Her home was destroyed, apparently. Okay. No, but remember, Jova, the reason the apocalypse is happening to begin with is because, as a lot of fans like to joke about, Max is messing with God's plan. Chloe was supposed to die in that bathroom, but Max keeps reviving her, and God is pissed. So
That is my working theory too.
Something like natural selection.
yes.
You're right.
I've said
What?
several times, it's like maybe she's meant to die.
Look, Max, I hate her, so I want her dead, okay?
I will say this. I will say this though. There will come a point from a plot revelation of that. However, wait till you hear Chloe's theory on the storm.
Something to get me down. Down, Max.
And there you go, we're supposed to use this the floorboard.
Again, to Max's credit, even though she could arguably try and find a way to fix this, I do appreciate that she does still care about, her friends and the people of this town enough not to just leave them for the sake of helping Chloe.
This is the end of the Alyssa subplot, and we're actually gonna get a good payoff now.
You okay? Now I am. We need to get out of here. Alyssa, you go on. I have to help other people. Watch out, Max.
There you go. Now Alyssa helped Max.
That was close. Thank you, Alyssa.
I know it was minor, but I still like this character. I still like this arc more than Chloe's arc.
It's a
minor,
cute
mind you.
It's a cute subplot, yeah.
Gonna have the Jova doesn't like Chloe drinking cake.
It's like
Okay,
I know that me and
okay,
Jova.
Dibs.
Sorry. Go
To
on.
be fair, Dwibs, I'm far from the only one, unless you've forgotten.
Yeah, I've been saying the same thing. Dibs. In fact, I was about to reinforce it.
And don't forget, Dwibs, I was the one who said, to be fair to Chloe, in the start before Chloe got really that bad.
Go on, Dibs.
Well, I'm also abusing that's a bit Jova, not exactly all the time or anything, but you've been a bit more spoken about it before we started the playthrough.
Well,
Restarted.
Not- Not really. Again, remember, I made it a point to be...
He's dead.
Oh.
it's okay. We can rewind. Go on.
Now, remember, Dwibs, I made it a point to try and be fair to Chloe at the start of this playthrough.
Yeah, he did. To be fair, he did.
I wanna
Which
help
you
every
can definitely corroborate if you look back at earlier parts. So, no, I've not really been just going non-stop about how I don't like Chloe. And again, everyone else has pretty much had
Hell.
their go at Chloe in this
Hell.
playthrough.
So this is like reverse
I just need to
Hitman,
switch
where
on
in
the
Hitman you
electricity
could
to
kill a
activate this button.
character by electrocuting them, and yes, since it was a Square IP still at the time. And and this time you could prevent him being electrocuted.
Indeed. Anyway, let me reinforce. Actually, I know that. Well, actually, you know what? I'll wait till Shuri returns before I say that. Actually, okay. So here's what you have to do. You have to.
Good timing then.
There you go then.
Joe.
Okay. Like me and Joe have been saying, I know that we had said this quite a few times, but it bears repeating. The side characters are far more likable and interesting than the leads. And it's
And again,
Who is this we just found?
a man who unfortunately we had to electrocute him to get here. Fortunately, you can rewind and save him, as I'm about to do. Go on.
yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, seriously though, it wouldn't even be that bad of an issue, if it weren't for the fact that, again, this game does hinge on you liking
You
Chloe.
have to get
Yeah.
out of here right now.
Well, Chloe and Max specifically, but yeah, no, especially on Chloe.
And remember, this is not just me and Jova theorizing. No, as we're going to see in the extra part, the developers themselves say this. This is the developers themselves admit that that's the intention. So it's not like we're pulling this out of our asses. No, the developers themselves confirm it, as we're going to see later.
I better hurry
How
to
about
the
like
diner.
this? Imagine if, per se, the cast of Final Fantasy VII were completely uninteresting. There would be a lot less motivation to actually play the game if the main characters are less interesting. And the side characters who literally just come and go are more interesting because they aren't always as consistent. I'm not gonna act like Final Fantasy VII wouldn't still have some fans because, you know, the gameplay. Although, let's be honest, the gameplay has aged a bit to the point where it would not be as beloved alone on that.
Well,
Like,
well, that's just part of being an old game. That's unavoidable.
But yeah, no, I mean, seriously though, in a game this story-based, you got to have the characters be good.
Yeah, that's the
And again,
like I said before, games like this live and die by their writing. If the writing stumbles,
put it
the
like-
whole game stumbles.
let me put it like this. If you really do want us to like the character this much, then you better bring your A game.
Yeah. See, the reason
And-
people are willing to the reason people are willing to still the reason It Takes Two is so beloved despite having those writing problems is because the game, even when the writing fails, the game still has its excellent gameplay to fall back on. This game does not have that this game does not have that luxury.
Like, that's the thing. Like, bro, let me put it like this. For as cool as the time travel stuff is, at the end of the day, this is more like a glorified Telltale's-esque game. Like, just replace the time travel with players activating a save state or just going back to the last loading point of a choice, and it's more or less a similar thing. So, this gameplay is not exactly the most unique.
Trust me.
I mean, to be fair, Pedro, this game and It Takes Two are two completely different games.
I know this, but that's irrelevant to my point. Like my point, in fact, it kind of bears to my point. Like, because remember, this is a very different game in It Takes Two, in the sense that this game's gameplay is entirely in the service of the narrative. There's a couple of puzzles here and there, but most of the time you're just picking dialogue options. This is entirely driven by the narrative, meaning if the narrative fails, the whole game fails. Whereas something like It Takes Two, you can just skip the cutscenes and just enjoy it as a gameplay experience. It will be great. Whereas this game doesn't really work like that, because if
Well, I mean, there are those ones where you're basically playing the scene.
How the hell did I ignore
Sure.
all those warnings,
Yeah, but
man?
this is not one of those cases.
Snow? The eclipse?
I'll talk about It Takes Two.
sure, I
So
understand.
stupid.
Yeah, but that
Should've
still
seen it
doesn't
coming.
change the fact that Pedro's comparison does make sense in that regard.
Yeah, I'm talking about in terms of enjoying, like, of how a game can sometimes fall back on other aspects when one of them fails. But this game is really that dependent on the writing. Anyway, now we're about to get the scene with Joyce. But go on. Go on.
Oh,
Come on, man.
yeah, no, again,
Let's talk over
here's the
here.
thing.
Give Frank
The
some
final
rest.
choice really does hinge on the character liking the heck out of Chloe. I think as Pedro has put it before,
Through the ringer.
if you really want to make the kind of choice that this game's narrative is going to force on us, you gotta care us to care like hell for that character. There are some other conditions I do want to mention, but I'll save that for when the big choice comes up.
David, hold up someplace safe.
Well, David's technically holed up someplace safe.
Free, honey. It's not like you whipped up this tornado on your own.
About that.
I'm also sorry about
I guess the
everything.
tornado is a
David,
manifestation
you
of
won't
Max's
have control
rage.
over any of
Or
that.
Unlike with David, the game, if I remember correctly, doesn't give us a choice to tell Joyce that Chloe's dead, which I'm fine with, because I like Joyce, so I don't really want to, especially if I'm going to revert the timeline and save her anyway. There's no point in going through this, drama. So
He was taking his private surveillance way too seriously. But he's sorry, and I wish he was here right now. I just want our lives to be normal again. With all the shit going on this week, I think you're right. And look at me, trying to keep my family together. And Max, did I make a mistake kicking David out?
David saved my life
From the storm.
He means well, even if he doesn't know how to show it. But this has to be your choice.
yeah, you can actually tell Joyce to get back with David, and she will follow your advice. However, I decided to just say, no, it's your choice. You decide.
It's the grown adult here.
I'm used to my
Yeah.
life being hard.
I mean, so's Max, but
Yeah, Max is technically an adult. She's 18, so.
And I don't think we need David around to keep reminding us. You're right, Max. I think I'm making my choice now.
Alright then. Alright, now, obviously the idea is to go talk to Warren about the photo that we need. However, we can have an optional ending, well, an optional cutscene, so we can end Frank's character arc.
Okay, Max. Excuse me while I go help this other gentleman.
Frank, I'm so glad you're here.
Makes two of us. Now, if only I had Rachel back. Now, Max, what about that info I gave you? Did you and Chloe find out what happened to her?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
About that, Frank.
Frank,
Yeah, I might as well tell him.
I don't know how to say this, so I just will.
Yeah, we can't actually save her.
No, please. Please, no, not
Unless we got a photo of Rachel, but
Rachel. Are
yeah.
you sure? I mean, how do you know?
We used the names you gave us to track
I
down the
mean,
farmhouse.
at this point over, the space-time continuum is a pretzel.
Jefferson. It has this creepy photo torture room. And we found out he was using Nathan Prescott to drug and photograph Blackwell students.
Prescott? Fuck! Fuck, I knew it! I should never have hooked up with that sick punk. Pompidou hated him. You saw.
They say animals have good instincts like that.
Yes, I did.
Yes. I wish I didn't. I'm so sorry, Frank. Nathan wanted to impress Jefferson and he killed her.
How? How did he kill her?
Overdose.
Yeah,
He used
overdose.
some drug and gave her an overdose.
An overdose? The only way Nathan could have done that is...
Yeah.
Oh, yikes.
I killed my lioness. No, what have I done? Where is this motherfucker Jefferson?
He's going to jail. He won't be hurting anybody anymore.
Rachel.
But I would have hurt him, though.
Yeah.
She was the one good thing.
Ironically, in
my
some
life.
timelines, he'll be dead by this point
I know
already.
She was too young. I expect her to leave me, just not how it happened. I would never have stopped her from going after her dreams.
You know what?
I know.
And this isn't just about me like Chloe, but no, this is
Rachel
Okay, sorry,
cared
go on.
about a lot of people.
this is legit good emotional character writing and acting as well.
Again,
We've actually had some really good scenes.
with the
None
side
of them are with
characters.
Chloe.
Yeah, with the side. It's like I said, the side characters are far more interesting than the fucking leads.
I would appreciate
Like, I find these scenes
one time I
genuinely,
met Dad.
you know, heartfelt in how they're
Master quoted the Bible
handled,
and
but
said
then
one
there's the
thing.
person we're supposed to
Enter
care
his
about the
house
most, who's
justified.
just a complete bitch.
In other words,
And Shuri, I
do
want
the
you to
right thing.
keep these scenes in mind when the final choice comes up, because
Yeah. Let's just say you're definitely not gonna like it. But anyway,
Alright.
I mean, I'm still not. I'm still a boost of the way that David.
Please be okay.
oh sure, I'm personally not that big on David either, Dwebs. I get what the writers were going for with him, but at the same time, I think the execution could have been better. So if that helps you, I'm not entirely big on David either.
That's okay.
And like I said myself,
Everything
like
is that you're safe.
I find David a better character than Chloe. That does not mean that by normal standards the writing of his arc is amazing or anything. Like, I get what they're going for with it, but like a lot of things, the execution is lacking. Granted, I do find the payoff
came
to,
for all of
well,
you.
again, be better than what happens with
Just tell
Chloe's
me you
arc,
do
but
have the
then again, that's not
I just
exactly
want
a big
shut up.
accomplishment.
I want you to take a moment to talk about Frank. Again, I do like how Frank and how they handled Frank by the end of this, where, yeah, obviously he's still a bad person when when you weigh down all the things and all that stuff, but at the same time, he does also have a more heartfelt side to him, and it shows that he's definitely, again, he's multi-layered. He's not while he's still a bad drug dealer and all that stuff. He's not a cartoon villain or anything like that. He actually does have humanity to him, which is again, this is how you make a good. This is good character writing. You have a character can be interesting and enjoyable without necessarily being a good person.
Yeah, remember, I just praised these scenes, and I have like a couple of
Oh,
times.
hold on, Shiro. I have to mention it. Hold on, Shiro. There you go, Shiro. This is the most infamous facial animation in the game. Every single time you get to this scene, Shiro, Max turns into a ventriloquist. I'm not even kidding you. And before you think maybe this is a glitch I encountered, no. On the PS4, on the Xbox One, this happens all the time, every time in every version of the game. This was never patched.
There you go, guys. So, yeah, the characters are more or less coming to the conclusion that the reason this storm is happening is because Max saved Chloe back in the bathroom.
He was listening to get drugs and money for him. Jefferson turned me up. Also, why the hell am I not opening my mouth?
Also, yeah, what I was trying to say was I've given praises to what's been happening in the last couple of parts, but note how I haven't called anyone a good person.
I think Warren is a good person, at least.
Yeah, Warren is. And
I guess Alyssa is.
Alyssa? Yes, Alyssa.
And I like Dana too. I mean,
and Joyce is fine.
The principal isn't a bad person either, just like
You cause a chain reaction.
a coward.
who needs to get some balls.
A coward, yeah.
Which is worse than it sounds because he's supposed to be the bloody prince.
Yeah, basically.
Very flawed.
It's because basically in YouTube videos, whenever people talk about the facial animations of this game, that little bit with Max always gets brought up as a.
Oh my god! Wait, this bit. Okay, so Max considers that maybe the storm really is her fault, but as Warren points out, she didn't choose to give herself time travel powers. Now you might think this is going to be a lead-in to see why Max got those time travel powers. Well,
Nope.
You can throw away that hope because never explained. Like, I get if you didn't want to explain, but don't call attention to that kind of stuff if you don't have an explanation in mind.
Yeah, it's the same thing I said about 13.2, where Sarah's all like, where did these clothes come from? And the game never explains where the clothes come from. Don't bring. This is an important rule of script writing. Don't bring up questions for which there are no answers, because all you're doing is annoying the audience with that.
So yeah, Chloe will make the right choice, right? Oh, Max will make the right choice. Chloe won't make the right choice.
Okay, so
Max will make the right choice.
okay, basically, Shiro. Now we have to focus. Now we're going to focus on the photo, and before we focus on the photo, we have the ending of Warren's subplot. We can either hug him, kiss him, or just leave him be. I'm going to leave him be because, as we both know, like we're going for lesbian Max. So.
Doesn't matter if you kiss him, though.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because I kiss him and then immediately I revert back to the timeline of the photo, which means this kiss never happened. So,
honestly,
sure. If you would try to go for the Warren ship, fuck that. The Warren ship never actually happens. It gets retconned.
You think your choices matter?
Shiroi is about to get worse, but honestly, I'm surprised you didn't at least give him a hug.
Yeah, hugs are cool.
I guess I just
He doesn't seem like the type of person who would read too much into it. So.
We're suddenly pausing the game.
Just to turn off the vibration, so I don't need it anymore.
This shit. Come on, Max. Chloe. Jesus.
Okay, Shiroi. Guess what?
I'm just glad we're
What?
Now we have to convince Chloe that she can't take revenge for Rachel because that will get her killed.
You're with me too. What's going on, Max? We have to find Nathan right
Yeah,
now.
we're going to have to. Now we have the task, Shiroi, of convincing Chloe not to do something she wants to do.
Okay.
Oh
okay.
boy, this is the true test of their relationship.
Okay. You know what? This should be easy though, because Chloe knows and believes Max about her time travel at this point. So all Max just needs to say is, "Hey, I'm from the future. You died."
She just said. Shiroi, let me guess. You used your powers and I fucking died.
You're supposed to back me up.
Prescott is taking me down. You're right. He won't. Mark Jefferson killed you and others. Jefferson, the art teacher? That's bullshit. Nathan is the fucking serial killer. We saw the proof. Now, excuse me, I'm going to that party to make sure he never hurts
Chloe!
anybody again.
Oh my God! You.
Okay, I mean, to be fair, art teacher versus someone who pulled a gun on her and God knows how many.
And that here's the counterpoint is
time traveling
Yes.
friend.
Max knows this shit because she traveled to the future. So she should believe her. Chloe of all people should believe her because she knows that Max is a time traveler.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
sorry, This is Chloe just being the biggest idiot possible. She knows that Max can time travel. She believes her on this stuff. They just inserted this for some fake bout of challenge.
Okay, let's
And
rewind.
you know what? Maybe this really is just natural selection. Chloe is destined to die because she is that stupid.
She's too stupid to live. So yeah, the basic point is that we have to pick the correct dialogue choices to convince her. Again, all Max should need to tell her is, look, Chloe, I traveled into the future. I saw you get killed by Mark Jefferson. You know I have time travel powers, so you should believe me. Why would I even lie about? What would I even gain from lying about this? Right?
And she still goes on about going after Nathan, even though Max reveals that Jefferson is the mastermind. And come to think of it, at this point, might Nathan already be dead anyway? Why not tell her that?
Like I said, all Max should need to say this is, look, I traveled to the future. I saw what happened. Believe you know I can time travel, so there's no reason for you not to believe me. And again, why would I even lie to you about this? I have nothing to gain from doing that.
I couldn't let you die. You brought me back here, and I can't lose you again. I won't. Max,
So yeah, we have to basically, pour our heart out to Chloe to appeal to her emotions, basically.
Nobody, especially you, should have to go through that. Now we have to stop Jefferson. With one bullet. No, not this.
This scene where we have to go for the right dialogue choices shouldn't even be a thing because it makes no sense for Chloe not to believe Max. It's just one of those cases where the game definitely wants you to have a dialogue puzzle, but the context behind the dialogue puzzle doesn't really make sense because Chloe, even for as stupid as she is, she should believe Max. There's no reason for her not to.
I fucked up, Chloe. I wanted to make things right, but everything turned out wrong.
I ended up at the Star Trek Generations ending.
I was able to go back in time.
Where she ends up in the happy purgatory, but
I stopped him from leaving, but
it's still going on.
But you ended up in a car crash instead. You saw my dad again. You were completely paralyzed, and you were in pain. You were slowly dying, and you asked me to end your life.
You're a real bitch for doing that, you know.
For you,
Bleach.
I didn't want you to suffer in any other timeline or reality. I couldn't bear the thought of you in any more pain. God, Max. That must have been awful for you. I'm so sorry I had to ask you that.
You didn't have to ask her that.
Yeah, we're talking about a different Chloe, actually, Chloe.
And not only that, she says that she had to ask her that. No, you didn't have to ask your friend who had her first time seeing you in a while
You have
that.
to believe me. Of course I do. Do you think I would even know how to handle that situation? Nobody would. The important thing is that we're together again. You're right.
Yay, we're together again. Yay.
So we can stay together and stay alive. I hear you, Max.
And given how the time travel stuff works, shouldn't David be on his way to arrest Mark Jefferson since apparently we still informed him?
Can these two just
But
stop?
I guess we didn't now because now Max is saying we gotta tell David again.
Can these two just start having some smutty lesbian sex? Because at this point I'm so uninvested, the only thing that can save this game is some porn. I'm just like...
Pedro, it's between these two characters. It would have to be pretty hot to get me to care.
I'm so grateful David was there.
Good point.
So what's your plan?
Jesus
Well,
Christ.
okay,
Jesus Christ. Even fantasy porn can save this game. Jesus Christ.
Sure, would that salvage the game for you at this
I
point?
believe you, Max. After
No.
all, I'm still your faithful companion. Yes, you are. So listen, in a few minutes, I won't know any of this happened. Nothing. We absolutely have to stay in your room and do nothing. Then we explain everything to David, and we finally let him
And
do
didn't you
his
technically
job.
already tell
You'll have
David,
to
based
tell me
off of how the
exactly what I
last
did
time
and
Jefferson got arrested goes?
Explain that I traveled through time using the photo. Will you believe me? I'll always believe you, Chloe.
For reasons that I have yet to understand.
Alright, so let's see how this changes the future now.
Okay, so now we talk to David.
Uh-huh.
David arrests Jefferson.
Well,
Oh, okay. So yeah, well, still, yeah.
He
What I said.
brings in a team and the police to
Which
arrest
again
him.
begs the question: why didn't he bring a team with him in that bit where we had to help him? Seriously, the game has him come alone doing that bit just to force the danger. You know, like it's so.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the results. Everything's going to absolute hell.
So how was
Again, God is pissed because he has designated Chloe for extinction, and Max keeps stopping him. You know.
You turned the space-time continuum into a pretzel. And
Wait this bit.
you fucked over.
It looks like
Traveled through multiple realities just to save my ungrateful ass over and over, and
I hope it was worth it. But
It wasn't.
I don't blame you.
Well, I mean, you're all
for
going to
wanting
die,
live your life
so.
After all my drama. Come on. I'm the official drama king and queen of Arcadia Bay this week. Look at what my powers have caused.
That's like a joke from Cow and Chicken. But I am the king and queen of cheese.
that did not sound as cool as you think it does.
nobody could have a better best friend. Nobody.
You know what? That is true. Max, okay, if Max has shown one thing, she's an exemplary best friend given all she's put up with for Chloe's sake.
She's an incredibly submissive person who doesn't know she's in a toxic relationship, and she.
Midway through one of their sentences, a giant wave engulfs the entire land and interrupts what they're saying. I mean, they're dead, but it mostly just interrupts what they're saying.
So here's
Oh,
my
oh,
question.
hold on, Joe, I have to point that
How
out.
does the turn of events lead to them being out here at this
Hold on, Joe, I have to point that out. Max, the game did that thing again.
Fighting for justice. I'd like to think that too.
Rachel Amber, the superhero.
Yeah, that's another.
Basically, Chloe's theory is that this storm is Rachel's revenge on the town for her murder.
Yeah, and some fans actually do side with that theory. Actually. So what do you think? So what do you guys think? Do you think the storm is is actually Rachel trying to take revenge?
I can't even believe this is
I
real.
think this is a consequence of all the time traveling she's been doing.
Yeah.
What do you think,
Yeah.
Shiroi?
No, just God is not pleased, yada yada.
Yeah.
I guess the reason some people do buy into this being Rachel's revenge is the idea that the ghost of that female deer we see
Yeah.
is supposedly Rachel's ghost, because otherwise, what was the point of that?
You see, guys. Here's what actually happened. God played Life is Strange. God saw the entirety of the story of Life is Strange before it happens, so he decided, well, I have to kill Chloe. But since Max doesn't want, keeps reverting things, he's pissed now, and he's going to do everything to kill Chloe. But anyway, yeah.
Back on this, guys. The idea has been that Chloe dies a lot of times, sometimes even by her own hand, or foot in the case of the train death. So, again, not only is this a case that maybe God wants her dead, but maybe Chloe just instinctively is a mutated version of a lemming who unknowingly brings about her own demise here and there. And this is just nature running its course, and when you try to mess with that, nature fights back.
Nature's tired of your bullshit.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Shiroi. The big culmination has yet to come.
In the next part, everybody, the game decides to go all supernatural on our asses and just have one gigantic nightmare sequence. So,
Oh, goody.
tune in for that.
Yeah.
See you.